And I would first like to ask our panelists about the skills gap that they observe in Cambodia that we need to close to increase and have increased value-added manufacturing. My first question is for Mr. Enjoy Ho, chairman of TAFTAC, who has been in Cambodia for a long time and seen the evolution of manufacturing in Cambodia. I would like to ask you, Mr. Enjoy Ho, could you please share with us the skills gap that you observed in the past in Cambodia and the skills gap that you observe now in Cambodia, in your sector?
Okay, thank you your question. But my English is not very good, so I need Mr. Tan translate for me. I use my native language, Chinese.
Please.
我介绍一下我自己，我是柬埔寨服装行业原来叫基麦的仓司会员，30年前就来了柬埔寨。
Mr. Enjoy Ho is the president of TAFTAC, and he has been here in Cambodia for about 30 years.
我见证了柬埔寨的纺织行业的从很小的一个规模发展到现在这个很大的规模。
He has witnessed the garment and also textile footwear industry started as a very small and infant stage up to the size of the size as now that is one of the major export hub in the world.
是从1996年协会成立以来，我们一直在劳工部的领导下，一开始是培训工厂的合规。
The TAFTAC started in 1996 and worked very closely with Ministry of Labor and Vocational Training, and initially focused mainly on the training and also the capacity building for the worker, for the factory and also the industry.
到后来， 柬埔寨政府与国际劳工组织签订协议，成立了一个合作项目，对柬埔寨工厂的合规经营更进一步的培训。
Thereafter, the Cambodia government have signed and also committed with the ILO to enhance the compliance for all the enterprise in the sector for the better, we call in accordance and operating based on the rule of law.
到现在，柬埔寨成为东盟国家最顶级的合规榜样，这是劳工部功不可没。
So it's very proudly to mention, Excellency Minister, Cambodia is the showcase and is excellent in the compliance in this industry in the whole of ASEAN, and this is all due to the we call the guidance and also the monitoring by the Ministry of Labor and Vocational Training.
尤其是2017年，我们原来叫 GMAC， 现在叫 Tvet。GMAC 成立了一个柬埔寨第一个纺织行业的职业技术学院，叫 CGTI。
So thereafter, the GMAC and also subsequently is a former name and go further to set up in training institution that build and also design to train the worker for the industry, and that institution is performing we call the training for all the worker, not only on the skill, but only on the standard, based on the international standard rule.
我们在劳工职业培训部的指导和合作下，还有跟那个 Skill Development Fund 就技能发展基金合作，有这个 SDF 提供了资金给工人，提供补贴、培训，给工厂的生产力提高，给工人的操作技能，这一方面还有合规方面做了很大的努力。
Under the guidance of the Ministry of Labor and Vocational Training, and also with the assistance from the funding of Skill Development Fund, the training of the institution have elevated the skill of the worker and towards the compliance to the world standard, and this is the one that Mr. Ho want to compliment the achievement of the Ministry of Labor and Vocational Training and also SDF.
每年为纺织行业培训了接近1万人员的职业培训。
Every year, successfully train up to 10,000 employee and worker in the industry.
所以，作为柬埔寨最大的行业协会的代表，我愿意我们协会进一步在劳工部的领导下、指导下，把这个职业培训做得更好，为柬埔寨的工人的培训做出更大的贡献。
Tvet is committed to continue working closely with Ministry of Labor and also Vocational Training to emphasize in the further training for all the workers for the industry, to elevate the standards for the workforce for the industry.
谢谢大家。
Mr. Ho has shared with us some of the evolution of training and skill development in Cambodia with the successful cooperation with the Cambodian government. And we can see that the success of Cambodia's economy and the rapid growth of Cambodia's economy, growing more than 7% per year for over 20 years, is not only the investment in infrastructure that Deputy Prime Minister Sun Chien-to had noted in the earlier panel, but also because of the skills development. And I would now like to ask from the banking sector, Mr. Lao Xianghai, if you can answer the same question. what skills gap did you observe in the past, and what is the current skills gap that you're observing in the talent in the banking sector?
Thank you for the question, Casey. Please allow me to pay respect to Nyat Meng and His Excellency Minister, delegates. So, from the banking industry, right, if we compare the past to now with the evolution of the technology, right, and you can see right now in banking industry, bank using, apps, we call digital banks. So that requires a lot of skill in digital, right? So just in case of Wing Bank, I just raised it as an example. So in the past, we have the developer or IT resource less than 100 people, right? Today we have more than 600 people. And this, requires the skill in technology, right? And part of that is about data, right? So in the past, we just use the employee to go and talk to customer and provide loan. But right now, with the change of technology, we offer we call digital loan, where we do not really go and meet the customer, but we use data, right, of the customer, and access to provide them the loan. And this requires, to build the, we call data analytics skill, together with the programming skill that I mentioned earlier. We grow from less than 100, to more than 600. And this is within, 4 years' time when we become a bank, right? So I would say the new era now is more on, the text, right? The data analytics skill. Yep.
Thank you very much. And so it's great to hear that the banking sector is evolving so rapidly with IT, and the demand for IT is very strong. Just a follow-up question. Do you find challenges, do you face challenges in recruiting IT personnel in the banking sector? And how do you resolve that challenge?
Yep, thank you again for the question. This is a good question, and I want to share, the audience about the experience, that we have grown the bank from 500 people, right, back in 2021 when we start, the bank, and till now we have more than 5,000. So it's like 10 times, right, grow in this number of years. So again, talk about the tech talent, right? In Cambodia, we do not really have many people, right, with this skill, right? So we acquire from other industry as well, those who have experience in programming, understand, just the basic of data, right? So we brought them in, and, thanks to skill development fund, like His Excellency Heng Su have mentioned, we have support from the fund, right? And work with the training partner to develop a program, we call apprenticeship program for 6 months, where we have them in classroom for 3 months at the campus of the partner, and then the next 3 months they come to our bank, work with our IT people to supervise them, work on a real projects. So after these 3 months working on the job with us, they become, acquire the skills that we need. So I would say this is one of the things that we have done. And when we become a bank till now, we have done more than 10 batch of them. So the process is that we recruit the fresh graduate from university, and those who are in IT, or not necessary for data analytics, skill, not necessary they study IT, right? So they just have a good caliber. So we bring them in, we provide this training to them, and then they are able to catch up Okay, so this helps us to fill the gaps. If we are going to recruit the experience in the market, it's hard. And if we bring from outside, it's expensive. We, in our bank, we also bring, expat from outside, but we do a program we call BOT, the Build, Operate and Transfer, where right now the data analytics team is led by the expat who come and train, our people. Another one that I have done as well, in Q4 last year, we have sent our data analytics teams to UK, 10 of them. And we spend a lot of money, but the thing is for them to expose, to work with the experienced people over there, the data scientists in UK, so that they come back and solve the problem we have in the bank. Thank you.
Thank you. So what you're describing is exactly what His Excellency mentioned in the his keynote speech about the simultaneous working and training and the private sector investment in the skills development. And wonderful to hear that you have made effective use of the Skills Development Fund. And you noted at the end there that one of the reasons that you have no choice but to engage in the training is that the market, the talent is not there in the market. So you are obligated to train and develop your staff. I'd like to come back to Mr. Ho and ask for the mechatronics and the mechanical engineering that is used in your factories. Do you find that you're able to find enough mechanical engineers in Cambodia? And if not, do you have training programs, and how do you develop and source mechanical engineers for factories?
我们以我的工厂为例，我们所有早期在30年前来的时候，我们都是从中国请来技工，然后培训找几个柬埔寨的工人来培训他们，大概一般培训1到2年，他们就能独立的工作了。那么现在呢，已经发展到，就是说我要继续扩大，要找，我就用柬埔寨这些机修主管去培训这个机修工人。我以我们厂为例，我们厂很多部门，那包括那个 supervisor， 那些部门主管，我们都是用柬埔寨人，因为这都是我们工厂手把手培养出来的。我们尽量的少用外国的管理层，多用柬埔寨的管理中层，然后这些柬埔寨的管理工程培养出来以后，他有语言的问题，他很容易培养其他的人。所以对我们来讲，外资企业来讲，我们希望用越来越多的柬埔寨管理人员来更好的为我们这个行业服务。
So based on Mr. Ho's experience back in 30 years ago, he had to import the mechanical technician from China, and then to train their factory Cambodian employee, and then that taken him around few months to a year in order for them to manage and also master the skill. Thereafter, he starting to had this department who is operating by the Cambodian worker to train the new Cambodian worker who is doing this mechanical work. And he find that this is very effective because there's no language barrier, so they can communicate freely, and then it's very effective. That's why based on his own experience, it's always good for the foreign enterprise. Of course, you need to have the foreign assistant at beginning, is okay, but it's best to make use of your Cambodian resources to train them because they can be a good trainer.
现在还有一个更好的办法，就是你工厂缺少什么样的人才，你可以派人到 CGTI 那边去参加培训， 学习。我们有很多这样的课程来为纺织服装的企业服务。
Now is a better solution. If you need any skill set, you can always send the worker to the CGTI, which is the training institute. They already equipped with the right syllabus to train your worker in address those issues.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ho. And so you, in the beginning, 30 years ago, you followed a similar experience where you needed to import the mechanical engineers from China to train the Cambodian engineers. And this training program has evolved into the Training Institute. And now I'd like to ask His Excellency, Mr. Heng Sua, there's somewhat of a chicken and an egg problem where in the earlier panel, Mr. Masao Sumetso, he encouraged automated manufacturing. But to have automated manufacturing, we need to have a large population of qualified mechanical engineers, mechatronics engineers. But to have demand for mechatronics engineers, we need to have the industry that is there ready to absorb them and support them. For going to the next level in value-added manufacturing, what is your approach? And what are some of the reforms? I know you've touched on some, but can you give some examples of the activities that you're carrying out in your ministry?
Well, thank you, Casey. And once again, a very late afternoon to all our participants. Well, before I answer, maybe I have to touch on a bit. What is the difference between mechatronic, mechanic, electronics, automation, and robotic, and computer control system? Well, people may think it's a chicken and egg, because people may think that we need the automation industries, the very advanced manufacturing system to happen in Cambodia. But indeed, the mechatronic demand, the automation actually already existed in our manufacturing sectors. Even since the garment, footwear, and traveling goods. If we look back to the latest establishments of the factories, they are no longer based on the traditional technologies. No workers moving the clothes, the apparel from one production line to another. It's all automation. After completing the production, the apparel, the clothing automatically hang on top of our head and it go directly to the storage, packing, everything. So our workforce, our workers actually already experience the automation. But if you ask me whether it's in a large scale, yes, it's not yet in the large scale. But the sense of automation, robotic, actually already existed in here. And if we look at how the garment, footwear, and traveling goods embed this automation, robotic system into their factories, it's quite amazing. Just like Mr. Anchoho mentioned a moment ago, the collaboration between the industries and the government is very important. The factories can introduce the advanced process, and they can count on maybe first stage, the expatriate. But later they can count on the government polytechnic institutes. They can count on the industry linkage training institute like CGTIs. And they don't need to spend for the training because the government provide the subsidize up to 75% of the training cost with the available of the productions technologies at the factories. So this is the good combinations of how the private sectors and government work together to handle the issues of the mechanic personnel shortage. And just for your information, it's not by accident. Actually, 5 years ago, our training program has been refocused on mechatronic, not just only mechanic. Because even if we train mechanic, but if they don't know the computer control system, if they don't know the automation system, they cannot be employed. That's why we are no longer talking about the mechanic. We always talking about mechatronics. And we are intensively invest on the facilities, workshop, and laboratories to our Tvet school. So again, if you look at the number of 10,000, I have to acknowledge that we might not have that number yet. But if you ask me about 100 people, I think we are available to provide to you. And with the increment of the budgets by the government and also development partners, we can predict that by 2030, at least 1,000 of mechatronics students can be graduated from our polytechnic or maybe from other universities, because mechatronics is not only within the Tvet, but some universities, they also start to move on. Let's say the National University of Management. Everybody quite known these universities in business and management. But in this, the National University of Management, they also start to focus on robotics and mechatronics. That is the good signs for the private sector, and I think we can overcome the challenge soon.
Well, I'd like to note that the manufacturing sector in Cambodia is growing dramatically. And in 2025, exports to the United States increased by 30%. And much of this is due to the support from the Cambodian government, including, as you said, supporting the training fees, 75% of the training costs provided by the Cambodian government, and providing the training institutes here in Cambodia. So this has been an important support. And even Wing Bank, Mr. Lau Siang Hai, an example of an industry and a company that has benefited from the support from the Cambodian government. I'd now like to take a regional point of view from policy advisor Mr. Chem Sirawat, who is with Bauer Group Asia and also chairman of the AmCham ICT committee. Can you give us a perspective? How does the skill set in Cambodia match with the region in Thailand and Vietnam? Is there a gap? What is the gap?
Thank you, Casey, for the question. Excellency Minister, honored to share the stage with you and all of our distinguished panelists. If you asked me this question 5 years ago, what is the skill gap? I would have said STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, but a lot has changed in that time. If you were to ask me what is the biggest skill gap, I won't immediately say it's AI. Of course, we all work in ICT and everything is affected by digital, but it's actually people. What I mean is that now more than ever, quality is much more important than quantity. If we want to move to the next level of the value chain in manufacturing, the problem is not the total number of workers or employees or staff, it is actually the quality of our output. And so we have to change our mindset that there's a consistent fear that with technology, with AI, someday AI might replace humans or AI might take our jobs, but we have to shift our mindset that with technology like AI, we will become more productive, we will become more efficient, and with that time that we have, we can use it to do things that humans are better at doing. And so just to bring that all together with the skills gap, the most important skill is actually the skill to learn. Lifelong learning. Now that we are in the age of information, everyone with a mobile device in Cambodia, if we look at the total population, urban, rural, more or less we have internet connectivity, social media, messaging platforms. We have access to all the information in the world. So it is actually up to the individual to do their part, to learn, whether it's through informal or formal education, and that we can actually reskill and upskill ourselves, not waiting for somebody to do that for us. So again, it's a skill to learn and quality over quantity. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Sirawat. And for the upskilling, you've noted the importance, the growing importance of AI. What can we do to encourage greater use of AI throughout industry?
Well, when we think of AI immediately, especially in the context of, let's say, Tvet or factories, we might think automation, robotics, mechatronics, what was touched on. But there are different forms of AI that across all the different sectors and industries, they are helping us a lot. Just to pick on the hot topic, let's say straight to generative AI. Of course, maybe not all the, let's say, factory workers in the more manual or labor-intensive sectors will have the ability or experience or knowledge to use generative AI. However, from the top management, from the organizational level, it can be very helpful in being more productive and efficient. So how can we use it? If we look at the large language models, of course, the most, let's say, prevalent large language models are in English. However, now there are some developments in Khmer large language models from the government, even from the AI forum that I have been leading for the last 7, 8 years. We are also developing our own Khmer large language model. So the objective, the goal of this is to create an open source large language model for the people in Khmer language. And with that foundational model, each sector, industry can create their own vertical, what they call AI agents. So a specific technology within an industry that can do something, a specific task, very well. So I think this is the direction we're moving into, and this will help to cut a lot of our costs. It will improve our efficiency, and overall, it will expand our productivity in all sectors.
That makes perfect sense to encourage Cambodian participation in the development of AI and having Cambodian language, Khmer, in AI. And continuing with the topic of AI, Lao Xiang Hai, can you tell us, in the banking sector, do you see AI being a skill set that is used horizontally throughout the departments and throughout the various roles and functions in the bank? Or are we going to see people that specialize in AI so that you'll have AI specialists working within the bank?
Thank you, Casey, that give this question to me, that I can share the practical experience we have in Wing Bank. For us, we are doing horizontal, right? Meaning that we do not really have a person dedicated for AI, but everyone are actually working on AI. So I give a few experience that we have done in HR. So what HR need to do with AI? So we have an app. App is just digitize, automate, right? But we embed AI in that, meaning we have a chatbot where we have AI trained about our policy. So people, the employee can go and ask, what is this policy, right? What is the leave policy? What is the expense, claim process, right? So they can ask in the apps, right? So the AI generate the answer, give to them. So this is one example, and that happened in HR. We have another one in customer experience, where we have complaints, right? We have disputes cases. Before we receive the complaints, there is an agent to call to customer, verify. It takes day, sometime, right? To find out what is the issue and to verify so that we can settle. Now we use AI with very short time, with the information that we analyze of the customer. The AI can automatically settle, transaction for customer. So this is another example. And one practical example, like I mentioned earlier, in the past, we need to go to customer to ask questions, to get data, to give out loan. Now in Wing Bank, we use AI, where we use customer data, so we can automate, right? People can just go to our app, do just a few clicks, so they can get the loan already based on the information that our back-end system, backed by the AI, right? Analyze the credit worthiness of a customer, and then the customer can eligible for that loan already. So this is just a few examples in different area, different department in our Wing Bank. Thank you.
Thank you, Xiang Hai. And Tan Ki Meng, I'd like to ask you a question. You're here. Tan Ki Meng has been a leading investment advisor, auditor, and accountant, and founder of Baker Tilly Cambodia. for several decades in Cambodia. Can you share us your experience about the changing skills gap and maybe touch upon how AI is changing your industry?
Yeah, thank you, Casey. I'm not supposed to be a speaker, but just helping my good friend, Mr. Ho. But I'm happy to share my personal experience. I've been here since year 2000. This year, I'm 26 years here. So when I'm in the accountancy. So when I came to Cambodia, we so-called certified chartered accountant. In that time, we can count by 2 palm, which is 10. And very proud to tell you, now we have a couple of hundreds. And also Casey played a very big part, and he's the one who produced accountant for us. Please give him a round of applause. And throughout my journey, I just want to borrow Nick Ongya Kip Ming's speech just now. I think what we're talking about, capacity, is all about the people. It's people that more than 30 years, Cambodia have went through development when I came here until now. Now we have capable Cambodian and we have talents. It's all accumulated the knowledge from the FDI, from the technical people that we send in. And I would like to again give the compliment to Ministry of Labor and Vocational Training. Your Skill Development Fund is playing a very important, and also the institution, because that is really build up the technical capability. For my example, I have also advice to you, to Cambodian people, we are not only employed but we must believe them. We must empower them. So for my example, I built my firm up to now. We are very proud. We are one of the very sizable accountancy firm here. And in the old days, we relied on expatriate. But I'm very proud. I have Cambodian CPA with me now. And the leader is already rested with Cambodian. So what I did is I sent them to Kuala Lumpur. We invested for them to stay half year in Kuala Lumpur to build them. So that is only the one that I think the thing that rewarded back to us is when they came back, they are not only encouraged, but they have seen the thing that they have learned elsewhere, and then they bring back here. And go back to the things is, I only want to let you know that believing in them, in Cambodia, we are not investing in the country, but we have to invest in the people. And then that is the one that will come back, the benefit will go back to you. So go back to the AI. I think that's why now they are so smart and so talented. I can tell you even the Cambodian staff of mine play better AI than me. So I think to conclude that, the people is important, but you must believe in them, you must empower them, and please invest in them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tanki Meng. And I like your comment how using AI can actually help us to leapfrog some skills gap. And last question before we invite the audience to ask a couple questions. His Excellency, I'd like to ask you, in 10 years' time, what is your vision for the skills ecosystem in Cambodia?
Well, even not 10 years from now, let's start from now. Whatever skill ecosystem is, it must respond to the need of the industries and the market. So this vision will not be changed. But what kind of ecosystem is depend on the industries that we are hunting for, and depend on the level of the technologies that we may employ in that industries. Right now, we are still depend on the labor intensive, of course, gradually to the technological-based industries. But in 5 years' time, we need to diversify. And to make the diversifications, government already committed to invest more in the skills and the skill eco training system. I hope and ensure that and guarantees that when you come back to Cambodia again, not 10 years from now, but from next year, you will see Cambodia's skill training ecosystem will be more resilient, more industry linkage that will enable the investor to be more reliable, predictable pipelines of the skilled workforce in Cambodia. And I believe that the more private sector understand the need of skill development and extends their arms of cooperation with the government, I'm sure we will get success, just as what we are doing in the past. If the private sectors allow our students, our trainees, to in turn to complete their apprenticeships in the workplace, the better that trainee or student will be equitable to the skill that will be needed in the workplace. So I do hope we will continue our aspiration to make our skill ecosystem better through extending and deepening our public-private partnership cooperation. And as the government, as the line ministry that's responsible for the skill policies, I will commit myself to listen and open more dialogue with the private sector, so we will be able to have a very, very demand-driven and equitable private sector needed skill. Thank you.
I very much appreciate His Excellency's comments. And yes, we should note that skills gap is not something that is unique to Cambodia. The United States has a skills gap. The European Union has a skills gap. There's always going to be a skills gap as industry evolves and industry practices evolve. And so now we have time to ask for questions from the floor. Please. Can we have the microphone to the gentleman to my right? Please share your name, where you're from, and who you would like to direct your question to.
Excellency, my name is Jonathan. I've come from Singapore. I've been here in Cambodia for 3 years already. So thanks to all the panelists, your explanation about technical skills. So one of my question is this, despite having just only focused on technical skills, what about soft skills? Like our Prime Minister did mention, it is important that our students in the university, young Cambodians upcoming, they have the academic skills, they have the technical skills as of now. What about the soft skills like leadership, managerial skills, so that they can develop in the future to be entrepreneurs? Because I believe a country to grow, we also need to build more business owners that can develop the country. Yes, thank you.
Well, let me take this question. Thank you, John. Well, I think soft skill is always a must. It must be a set of skill. When we are talking about the technical skill, it's a hard skill. Usually, hard skill must be accompanied by the soft skill. Otherwise, the hard skill just like a robot in the 1960s, no brain. So if we want the robot to be a latest humanoid, it must be accompanied with the soft skill. But since the panel focus on the technical skills, so we keep the soft skill apart. But we remember, soft skill is very important. Regardless what sector you are, soft skill is a must. Or we can say employability skill, adaptability skill, because the environment, the technologies is always change. But your adaptability skill, soft skill, is always the answers. So it will enable you to catch up the development of the technologies unless you have the adaptability skill. So I support you, and I just want to inform you that soft skill, including the employability skill, the attitude is always one of the priority that we put in our skill set. Okay.
Excellency, thank you very much for that insight. And I'd like to invite one last question from the floor due to time constraints. Yes.
Okay, my name is Chia Kok Main, and I'm the CEO of a local company and SME. And thank you, panelists. And as I listened from the morning until now, I'll mostly focus on FDI, foreign investment, the big company. But in terms of local SME, like me, I have around 100 staff. But I heard a lot about skill training, additional fund. That is available for SMEs, and if available, how? And where can we find that? Because I think here we have so many SME right now, but we lack a lot of leadership skill training, and we don't have that much fund to do on my own. Again, the question is that is that fund available for SME, and how we can apply for that? Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I have to take this question again. I think one principle that Cambodian government has adopted so far is that there is no discrimination between the foreign and domestic investments. Even you are small, medium enterprise, if you want to get the incentives, maybe you will apply for the QIPs at the CDCs, if this is the investment. In terms of skill, we have no discrimination between the foreign and the local enterprise. Indeed, we are encouraging and appealing to our SMEs to apply for the fund in order to train the entrepreneurs to be more entrepreneurship and be able to train their employee to be more productive and be able to answer to the need of the market transformation as well. So I would encourage all participants in here, either you are foreign or you're local, even you are big or small, we are welcome to the skill development funds. You can reach me or you can call to the 1297. Indeed, Mr. Kisok Kim, he is the director of the Skill Development Fund. He may be around here too, but just in case if you don't know, you can keep calling to 1297. My ministry will guide you through how to apply for their funds. And just for your information as well, in addition to the skill development funds, you can send your staff, send yourself to the training program across the country, including the Polytechnic Institute under the Ministries of Labor and Vocational Training. We have a very flexible training schedule, morning session, afternoon session, nighttime session, and the weekend session. So you can choose, even you don't apply for the skill development fund, but you can directly apply to the government scholarship within the 1.5 million. It's not only for the poorest family, but it's applicable to all, including the SME. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add on, testify for Excellency, because Malaysian Business Chamber, we used to work with you on SDF, and then the program we run is we got the funding from SDF, and I can report to you, we have trained about 60 Cambodian managers, all Cambodian, with the professor from Singapore at university, and 8-day program. So they are all fully trained Cambodian. So in fact, no discrimination, I can testify. And also that is the one that Skill Development Fund have a website. There's a lot of course that you can click and enroll. Yeah, thank you.
Excellency, panelists, thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing your experience. And in closing, I'd like to fulfill the MC's wish that I speak Khmer. So I would like to cheer the Punjab som thlang nakun chumpua sapia pinichikam Cambodia samarap kai riep jam kai prachum kumpul thurakat prakap doi phiep chok chai som chuan patepo ai kadam luk nek uk nya nek dau mien wat mienថ្ងៃនេះជួនប្រតិពលទាំងពុំប្រកាសអាយុវណ្ណៈសុខៈពលៈកំបាយគ្លៀងគ្លេកឡើយសូមអរគុណ
Thank you to our moderator, Casey, and our distinguished panelists. I have no clue what Casey said, but well impressed. And now we'd like to invite all of our distinguished panelists to a group photo session. If you can step to the front of the stage. And we'd like to invite Oknia Kitmeng to please join our panelists for a photograph. Our moderator once again and our distinguished panelists for such an engaging panel session on workforce and looking towards the future of a competitive, productive and efficient workforce, not just here in Cambodia but in the region.